Magandang araw, 1ED Phil 2E. Ako nga pala si Sherwin De Mayo at ang ating tatalakayin ngayong araw ay ang the 21st century teacher. Next slide please. So, the 21st century teachers, meron siyang apat na topic. First is effective communication skills. Second, learning and innovation skills. Third, info, media, and technologies skills. And fourth, life and career skills. Next slide, please. So, before that, talakayin muna natin kung ano yung traditional skills. So, sa traditional skills, meron siyang content delivered by the teacher in the classroom. Lecture and reading from textbooks are the main sources of learning. Students are assessed primarily on knowledge learned. So, sinasabi dyan na yung um, knowledge is nanggagaling daw sa teachers. Tapos, yung content na ginagawa daw ng teachers is from the book. Sinasabi sa students, tapos ina-assess yung student pagkatapos ng subject or ng klase na meron sila through homework and assignments. Tapos, syempre meron din siyang exercise. Okay, next slide please. Ngayon, dumako naman tayo sa the 21st century classroom. Teacher facilitates by directing students to reach learning sources and asking students to demonstrate what they know and are able to do. So sinasabi lang dyan na yung the 21st century classroom is nakapokus sa asking question to encourage critical thinking, inquiry, and reasoning. Tapos, yung students daw is nagsisynthesize ng mga ideas para makabuo siya ng sagot sa mga problems na merong binigay yung kanilang teachers. Tapos, through observation, reading, writing, and communication effectively, students use higher order thinking skills to solve complex problems. Students should use media and technology effectively. Students should study, research, and work independently and collaboratively. So, ayun po yung the 21st century's classroom. Next slide, please.
Maraming salamat sa napakagandang pag-uulat, Mr. De Mayo. Ngayon naman tatalakayin natin ang effective communication skills. Next slide please. Ano nga ba nakapaloob sa effective communication skills? Ang nakapaloob dito ay ang teaming, collaboration, interpersonal skills, local, national, and global orientedness. So, talakayin natin bakit kailangan ng teaming. Ang kailangan ng teaming sa communication skills dahil dito nagsasama-sama ang mga tao sa isang team. Dito ay mahalaga ang pagpapahusay ng epektibong komunikasyon dahil sapagkat tayo nga ay magiging teacher sa hinaharap. So kailangan natin makipag-coordinate sa mga team natin, sa kagrupo natin dahil hindi magiging successful ang isang groupings kung walang communication skills na teaming. Sunod naman ay ang collaboration. Sa collaboration naman, ito ay mahalaga din upang magbigay daan sa pagpapahalaga sa iba't ibang perspektibo. At sa pamamagitan ng collaboration, nagkakaroon tayo ng pagkakataon na marinig at magbigay pansin sa iba't ibang perspektibo at ito ay nagpapalawak sa ating pag-unawa sa mga issue at nagbibigay daan din para mas mabuo ang chemistry ng isang team. Sunod naman ang interpersonal skills. Ang interpersonal skills ay mahalaga sa epektibong komunikasyon dahil ito ay daan sa atin na makipag-ugnayan na maayos sa iba. At kailangan natin maipakita na ang ating kakayahan ay may ipakita natin sa ibang tao na mauunawaan natin ang iba't ibang perspective ng mga tao. At ang sunod naman ay ang local, national, and global orientedness. Bakit nga ba ito mahalaga din sa communication skills? Ang local, national at global orientedness ay mahalaga dahil dito ay nagpapahalaga sa pagkakaunawan at pakikipag-ugnayan sa iba't ibang antas ng lipunan. Dahil nga teacher tayo sa hinaharap, kailangan natin, hindi naman porket Filipino major tayo ay sa mga Filipino lang tayo maibabagsak. Kailangan be ready din sa iba't ibang department kung sakali man doon tayo napunta. Kasi kung hindi ka ready, hindi, parang kinulong mo lang ang sarili mo sa comfort zone mo. At ang sunod naman ay ang balangkas nito. Sa kabuuan, ang local, national at global orientedness ay mahalaga dahil nagbibigay daan ito sa pagpapahalaga natin sa kultura. So, next slide please.
Ayan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Laika Singkuhina, and I will discussing the learning and innovation skills. What is the learning and innovation skills? When we say learning and innovation skills, it is the abilities and competencies that individual needs in order effectively acquire new knowledge and ideas and concepts, as well as to generate the creative and innovative solutions problem. And it is focusing in the creativity and collaboration and problem solving. Next slide. Next. Creativity is the ability to think about the task or a problem in a new different way or ability to use in the imagination to generate new ideas. The creativity is the ability to think outside the box or generate new ideas and approach challenges in innovative ways. Teachers can Teachers can foster creativity or the students by providing opportunities for exploration and encouraging experimentation and supporting divergent thinking. Next slide. The curiosity is the state of being curious, inquisitive, wondering, ready to poke around and figure something. The curiosity is having a strong desire to learn or know something. Next slide. Next slide. Critical thinking is the problems solving is essential skills for education to cultivate and their students, and teaching critical thinking involves analyzing information and questioning assumptions and evaluating evidence to make informed decision. Critical thinking is Teachers can help students develop critical thinking by encouraging them to evaluate evidence, consider and different perspectives, and draw logical conclusions. Next slide. Problem solving, on the other hand, involves identifying problems, brainstorming and solutions, and implementing strategies to overcome challenges. Problem solving identifying issues, developing solutions, and implementing strategies to address challenges. Teachers can support students in developing problem skills by presenting real-world problems, encouraging experimentation, and guiding students through the problem-solving process. Next slide. Risk-taking, the act of fact or doing something that involves danger or risk in order to achieve a goal. When teaching involves stepping out of tradition and boundaries, trying new approaches and strategies and methods to enhance student learning and engagement. It involves the taking calculated chances to innovate and experiment with the different ways of delivering content, assisting students understand, and fostering a dynamic learning and environment. Next slide.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ako si Josh Lisiego at kasama ko sa magtatalakay na si Ginoong Makalindong Erwin Jr. Sa paksang talakay natin, ito ang learning and innovation skills. Kaya ngayon, ako ang mauuna magtatalakay. Simulan natin. Next slide. Mga punto. Una, the 4 Cs of 21st century. Second, the creatively and innovation. Third, critical thinking. Fourth, creativity. And five, communication. And last is collaboration. Next.
Ah, this is the three C's na pag-aaralan po natin. Una, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. Next po. The 21st century learning skill are often called the 4 C's. Kaya po nasabi natin kanina, critical thinking, creative thinking, communicating, and collaboration. These skills help students learn and so they are vital to success in school and beyond. Next po.
Teka, easy. Balik. Creativity and innovation. May tatlong uri na ito. Ang una ay, next. Think creatively. Para sa mga teacher, need to be creative, lalo na sa mga magtuturo sa klase niya. Halimbawa, how student makakuha ng attention niya para sa visual and understanding ang lesson sa topic niya. Ng topic ni teacher. Ayan. Next. Next is work creatively with others. Need to be effort and creative if sa mga grupo or team need to na pagandahin ang project. Mag-create kayo ng mas maganda, ng perfect and presentation. Next. Hello? Hello? Rinig ba ako? Okay. Implement innovation. Para sa mga individual, kailangan gamitin ang skills nila and consistent. If hindi nila ito magawa, maaari maging fail and something hindi matatapos. Kaya need gamitin ang innovation. Next. Critical thinking and problem solving. Next.
Po, next po. Critical thinking. Critical thinking is a practice of problem solving among other qualities. They ask questions, they become engaged in the world around them. They help others think critically. In addition, critical thinking empowers students to discover the truth in assertion, especially when it comes to separating facts from opinion. Dahil sa critical thinking, mas nakakasa yung pag-iisip na bawat bilang pa tayo mga guro, bilang na rin yung mga estudyante. Next po.
Okay. Reason effectively, inductive, deductive, etc. based on situation. Ang inductive ay ito yung collecting information and draw conclusion. Also observe. Bagamat ang deductive naman ay mahalagang pagbuo ng argumento at desisyon para sa kaalaman ng impormasyon. And yan, next. Use system thinking. Parts of the whole in complex system. Mas mapalawak at mas malalim ang pang-unawa natin sa problema at sa posibleng solution. Next. Make judgment and decision. Evaluate evidence, points of view. Synthesis, make connection, draw conclusion, reflect. Kung maiugnay natin sa personal na paniniwala, karanasan o impormasyon mula sa iba't ibang source mo. Next. Solve problem. Connection and innovative various points of view. Kung paano mo yung problema ng isang bagay, need na tapusin at paano masolusyonan. Pag-handle ng paperwork, many handling section, and deadlines. You need to know paano matatapusin. Next.
Next one is creativity. Creativity is the practice of thinking outside the box. Ang pagiging creative po kasi, ito yung mag-iisip ka ng makabago. Bilang tayo mga teacher, kailangan laging nakakasabay tayo sa anong trend na para mas makuha natin yung attention ng mga magiging estudyante natin in the future. And the next po. While creativity is often treated like you have it or usual quality, student can learn how to be creative by solving problem, creative system, or just trying something they haven't tried before. Sa pagiging creative kasi, dito nakakasa yung imahinasyon ng bawat teacher, pati ng estudyante. The more na mas nag-i-imagine ka ng mga anumang mga bagay, the more na mas nakakagawa ka ng panibago na magiging mas creative ka sa lahat. Sa pagdating sa pagtuturo, sa lahat ng pwede mong ipakita para mas maging lively lang yung discussion mo. Next po.
Communication. Next. Communication. Listen effectively to deceive, meaning including knowledge. Communication of teaching your student. Paano mo sila makikinig sa'yo and malalaman ang dinidiscuss mo sa pagtuturo mo. Paano mo ma-handle yung multi-language ng kinakausap mo? Using major language or teach them how to use the language subject class. Next.
Communication then. Communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. In other words, talking or writing, and listening or reading. Good communication, listen carefully, speak or write clearly, and respect different opinions. Communication is the practice of conveying ideas quickly and clearly. Isa pa sa maging effective communication, yung masasabi mo lang mas effective ang isang komunikasyon, parehas kayo nagkakaunawaan at parehas kayo nagkakaintindihan. Next po.
Collaboration. Next. Share information to your group or team. Paano magtutugma ang sarili ninyong idea? Kung iisahin o pares kayo magdidiscuss nito. How to work each other. Paano nyo ma-achieve yung isang bagay? You need to know all together. Next.
Collaboration is the practice of working together to achieve a common goal. Ito yung collaboration na makikipag-join ka sa other teachers or other student mo na tuturuan mo sila makipag-join, makakuha ng panibagong idea dahil sa pag-enjoy nila. The more na marami ka nakakasama, the more ka rin na marami ka rin matututunan sa kanila. Next po. Well, collaboration is important because whether students realize it or not, they probably work with other people for the rest of their lives. Practicing collaboration in teamwork helps students understand how to address a problem, reach solution, and decide the best course of action. Next po.
So, good day everyone, especially to Ma'am Venerasyon. I am Aizelin Mansibang and I will explain the life and career skills. Next po ng slide. So, first is the flexibility and adaptability. Adapt to varied roles, jobs, responsibilities, schedules, and context. So, it means magiging flexible and adaptive ang isang teacher kung madali siyang maka-adapt or maka-get along sa trabaho or sa responsibilities niya. For example, dito sa isang teacher, magiging flexible siya kapag na-handle niya ng maayos ang role niya, which means kahit sa ang subject siya ilagay or anong schedule niya, kaya niyang i-handle ito. So, second is work effectively in a climate of ambiguity and changing priorities. Which means ito naman yung nagagampanan niya yung role niya despite of the uncertainties or kahit marami siyang priorities. For example, dito yung isang teacher, nilipat siya sa ibang school, kaya niyang i-adapt yung environment, kaya niyang maging flexible kahit maraming doubt or uncertainties sa paligid niya. Next is incorporate feedback effectively. Pumapasok na dito yung pagiging professional mo as a teacher when it comes to your work. Nandito rin yung advices ng ibang tao para sa growth and improvement ng sarili mo. Next slide. Next is leadership and responsibilities. Guide and lead others. Siyempre, pumapasok dito yung building relationships. Ikaw ang magle-lead ng change. Siyempre, teacher ka. Dito kung paano mo ma-develop yung students mo. And next is be responsible to others. Pagiging accountable and showing commitment and respect to others. Pumapasok din dito yung pagiging transparent and honest mo as a teacher. Next is social and cross-cultural skills. Interact effectively with others. Andito yung open communication and syempre pagiging active listener and giving understanding, especially sa students mo. And last is work effectively with others. Dito naman yung collaboration and brainstorming para ma-reach nyo yung goal nyo. As a teacher, dapat tumatanggap ka or nakikinig ka sa kako-teachers mo ng suggestions nila. Yun lang po. Thank you.
So good day everyone, especially to Ma'am Venerasyon. So I'm Joanna Mariam Conahab, and today I'll discuss what initiative and self-direction. Skills that refer to your ability to assess a situation and take action without direction from someone else. So sa initiative and self-direction, dito po pumapasok yung pagiging isang guro na nagkukusa, which mean na parang hindi ka sasabihan ng iba para gawin mo yung isang bagay o gawin mo yung dapat mong gawin bilang isang teacher sa mga students mo. Next is productivity and accountability. So, productivity and accountability, ito po yung dalawang important things sa isang guro dahil yung productivity and accountability, since teacher tayo, dito natin mababase kung ano talaga yung magiging outcome ng tinuturo natin sa mga students na tinuturuan natin. And may 3 examples po tayo din, which is professional learning communities, teacher evaluation, and community monitoring. First, sa professional learning accountability communities, dito po is parang may mga group of teachers and yung mga teachers na yun is may kanya-kanyang experience and may kanya-kanyang gap ng years kung kailan sila nag-aral or nagturo na. So, since may kanya-kanya silang experience, yung bawat isa na yun, nagbibigay sila ng, tips sa bawat isa and yung isang for example, ako po ay bagong teacher. So, yung mga co-teachers ko, bibigyan ako nila ng tips para sa mga students since bago nga lang ako. And yung tips na yun magagamit ko sa pagtuturo ko. Next is teacher evaluation. Ang teacher evaluation, mostly ginagamit ito sa mga um, junior high school. Kumbaga, parang magkakaroon po ng um, monitoring sa isang klase and dun po malalaman na kung yung effective ba yung pagtuturo mo bilang isang teacher and sa mga students mo. Next is community monitoring. So, sa community monitoring, dito naman pumapasok yung mga um, parents and yun po, parang dun nila malalaman na natututo nga sa eskwelahan yung mga anak nila. Next po, ethical, moral, and spiritual values. They guide the teacher's actions and interaction with their students, colleagues, and society. An example dito is dignity, truthfulness, responsibility, and spirituality. So, sa ethical, moral, and spiritual values, nagpo-focus sila sa mga um, sa pakikipag-interaction sa mga students. For example, dignity. So, kumbaga, ang dignity, best ano niyan, nire-respect ng teacher yung humanity and dignity ng bawat isang estudyante. And sa truthfulness naman po, yung mga teachers nagiging honest sila sa mga students nila. Sa responsibility and freedom, yung mga teacher po may kanya-kanya pong um, um, desisyon na ang katumbas nun is sila po yung responsible sa mga actions nila and sa mga decisions nila. Next is spirituality. Since hindi naman lahat sa isang classroom is pare-pareho ng religion. So, sa mga teachers, kailangan nilang i-respect yung mga religion ng bawat isang students. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Good day. My name is John Kenneth Loklokan and I'm with uh, Ma'am Charisma Grace Fontanilla and Ma'am Rans Averill Gorgonia to discuss about the information, media, and technology skills. So these are the skills that teachers should have or must have in order to teach students properly and correctly. Next slide. For the first literacy that we have here, it's visual and information literacies. For the visual literacy, it's the ability to interpret or to demonstrate the image or pictures presented to you, such as visual aids, infographics, and PowerPoint presentation, just like that we have in here. Uh, it's also you are able to evaluate, apply, and create different concepts or ideas that you got from the image that you are presenting to your students. And then for the information literacy, we can have here the research that will always be attached to us as teachers or future educators of this generation. In order to be information literate, you have to identify what information is needed, especially you are presenting knowledge and learnings to your students. So it should be correct, it should be reliable and from sources that are guaranteed na it's correct and legitimate or accurate. And also to use different medias or websites that can help you in gathering information in order to teach properly. And then next slide po. And for the second one, we have the media literacy. It's the ability to critically analyze the message that uh, a certain media is trying to tell you or to convey. We can use the TV broadcast, radio, news or newspaper, and also social media post. You should be able to know if the information presented to you through these media platforms are accurate, it's correct, and can be used in your teaching and gathering different knowledge from it. And then for the next one, thank you.
So next, hello everyone, I'm Charisma Grace Fontanilla. Ang aking tatalakayan naman ngayon ay ang basic, scientific, economic, and technological literacies. So we have scientific literacy. Encompasses written, numerical, and digital literacies as they pertain to understanding science, its methodology, observation, and theories. Ang scientific is a crucial skill na sumasaklaw sa iba't ibang aspeto ng literacy kabilang ang written, numerical at digital literacy. Kabilang dito, ang kakayahang maunawaan at bigyang kahulugan ng scientific information, kabilang ang concepts, methodologies at observation. Ang scientific literacy ay nakapokus sa pagbuo ng deep understanding sa kung paano gumagana ang science at kaugnay nito ang ating buhay. Sa pamamagitan ng scientific literacy, individuals can make informed decisions in their personal lives. Maaari nilang suriin ang scientific claims, understanding the implication of scientific research, and critically analyze information presented in scientific studies. Ang skill nito ay particularly important in today's world kung saan ang scientific information is abundant at kadalasang humuhubog sa public policy and decision-making process. Malaki rin ang papel na ginagampanan ng scientific literacy sa mga usaping civic and cultural affairs. Binibigyan daan ito ang mga individual na makisali sa mga talakayan at debate tungkol sa scientific issues na nag-aambak sa pagbuo ng informed public opinions. By understanding scientific concepts, ang mga tao ay maaaring aktibong lumahok sa mga pag-uusap na nag-uugnay sa healthcare, environmental sustainability, technology, and other areas where science intersects with society. Higit pa rito, ang scientific literacy ay may economic implications. In today's knowledge-based economy, many jobs require at least a basic understanding of scientific concepts and process. Ang scientific literacy ay nagbibigay daan sa mga individual na umangkop sa mabilis na pagbabago ng technological advancement to make informed career choices. Next po.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth and Fontanillas. By the way, I am Evil Gorgonian. I am reporting about economic and technological literacy. When we say economic literacy refers to having a basic understanding of economic principles, concepts, and system. It involves knowledge about topics such as supply and demand, inflation and employment, and fiscal and monetary policy, and the functioning of market. Economic literacy is essential for making informed decisions as as a consumers, workers, and citizens, as well as for understanding the broader economic issues affecting society. And there's 7 scopes about the economic literacy. Number one is basic economic concept. When we say basic economic concept, it understanding fundamental concept like supply and demand, its scarcity, opportunity, and cost, and the role of insensitive in decision making. Number two is macroeconomics. And when we say macroeconomics, it's grasping concept related to overall economy, such as gross domestic product or GDP, inflation, unemployment, and fiscal policy, government spending and taxation, and monetary policy, control of the money supply and interest rates. Number three is microeconomics, understanding the behavior of individual agents within the economy, including the households, firms, and industry. This includes topics like consumer behavior, production and cost, market structures, like perfect competition of monopoly, and factors influencing market equilibrium. Number four is financial literacy. When we say financial literacy, knowing how to manage personal finances, including budgeting, saving, investing, borrowing, and understanding financial instruments like stocks and bonds and loans. Number five is global economics. When we say global economics, is awareness of international trade, exchange rates, globalization, and how economic events in one part of the world can impact others. Number six is, lastly, policy analysis, being able to evaluate economic policy proposed by governments or institutions, understanding their potential impacts and considering trades-offs. Overall, economic literacy enables individuals to better navigate economic decision in their personal lives, understand and contribute to discussions about economic issue and the society, and participate more effectively in the democratic process by making informed choices about economic policy. Um, Sabi po doon sa sinabi ko sa report ko, based on my understanding and to share to everyone, here is ang ekonomikong kaalaman daw ay may kakayahan ng isang tao na maunawaan at maisagawa ang mga konsepto ng prinsipyo ng ekonomiya. Ito daw ay mahalaga upang magkaroon ng matalinong desisyon sa pang-araw-araw na gawain tulad ng pagbili at pagbenta ng mga produkto, paghahanap ng trabaho, pag-iipon at pag-iinvest. Kapag may ekonomikong kaalaman ng isang tao, mas nauunawaan niya ang mga issue tulad ng kawalan ng trabaho, kahirapan ng bansa. Bukod dito, ang mga taong may ekonomikong kaalaman ay mas handa, mas makapangyarihan sa pagtugon ng mga hamon tulad ng pagbabago ng ekonomiya at patakaran ng pamahalaan sa pamamagitan ng pag-unawa ng ekonomikong mga konsepto at prinsipyo, mas nagiging epektibo at responsableng mamamayan ng isang tao sa lipunan. Next one is we are tackling what we call that technological literacy. When we say technological literacy involves understanding, using, and navigating technology effectively. It's about knowing how to operate gadgets, software, and systems, as well as understanding the impact of the technology and the society. Being technologically literate means being able to solve problems, think critically about technology, and adapt to new what we call that advancements, and it an essential skills in today's digital world, enabling individual to communicate, learn, work, and participate in society effectively. And we have four, that ability responsibly use appropriate technology. Two, A is communicate, B is solve problems, C is access, manage, integrate, evaluate, design, and create information to improve learning in all subjects areas. D, or lastly, is acquire lifelong knowledge and skills in 21st century. And this technological literacy refers to the ability to use appropriate technology in responsible manner, This includes utilizing technology to communicate effectively, solve problems, access and manage information, integrate and evaluate data, as design and create information to enhance learning across various subjects. Additionally, technological literacy involves acquiring lifelong knowledge and skills that are relevant in the first centuries. Thank you. Next one, please.
So, the last literacy is multicultural literacy na naglalaman ng respect others' culture and traditions, adapt to the environment you are in, and accept other beliefs. So, sa kabilang banda, ang multicultural literacy ay nakapokus sa paggalang at pagpapahalaga sa magkakaibang kultura, tradisyon na pinapakita sa lipunan. Kabilang dito ang pagkilala sa halaga ng iba't ibang cultural perspectives, beliefs, and practices. Ang multicultural literacy ay inikayat ang mga individual na bumuo ng open-minded and inclusive attitude towards people from different backgrounds. Ang paggalang sa kultura at tradisyon ng iba ay isang pangunahing aspeto ng multicultural literacy. Nangangahulugan na ito ay understanding that there is no single right way to live or perceive the world. Sa halip, kinikilala at pinapahalagahan nito ang kayamanan na dulot ng pagkakaiba-iba ng kultura sa ating lipunan. Kasama rin sa multicultural literacy ang adapting to different environments na nangangahulugang ito na ay maging aware at respetuhin ang cultural norms at customs kapag nakikipag-interact sa mga individual mula sa iba't ibang kultura. By adapting to the environment, ang mga individual ay maaaring magpaunlad ng respectful and harmonious relationships between people from diverse backgrounds. Ang pagtanggap sa mga paniniwala ng iba ay isa pang mahalagang aspeto ng multicultural literacy na nangangahulugang ito ay pagkilala na ang mga tao ay may different religious, philosophical, and respecting their right to hold those beliefs. Sa magitan ng pagtanggap sa magkakaibang paniniwala, ang mga individual ay maaaring mag-promote ng understanding, empathy, and cooperation sa iba't ibang grupo ng kultura. Ayun lang po. Salamat.
Ayan, ako si Ginoong Lester Isaac Laudato. At ngayon naman ay dadako tayo sa pinakahuling bahagi ng aming pag-uulat sa gabing ito. Ito ay yung another way of grouping the 21st century skills. Siyempre kapag may skills ka, sinasabi nga ni Carl Jung, isang sikat na psychologist sa Amerika, sinasabi niya na kapag may skills ka, hindi sapat na may skills ka. Kailangan marunong ka ring maglagay nito sa tamang pwesto o sa tamang konteksto. Kaya nga, importante na meron tayong 21st century skills bilang magiging guru sa hinaharap at kinakailangan na alam din natin kung saan ito ilalagay. Kaya nga, pag tatalakayin ko ngayon, itong another way of grouping the 21st century skills. Una ay pwede siyang igrupo sa paraan ng ating pag-iisip. Halimbawa, yung creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, decision making, at yung learning, lahat ito ay tumutukoy sa paraan natin ng pag-iisip. At itong mga skills na ito ay makatutulong sa atin, lalong-lalo na sa ating pagtatrabaho, sa ating pamumuhay araw-araw upang hindi tayo mabilis ma-misinform o kaya matuto tayo o kaya makabuo tayo ng mga bagay na ating magagamit sa pagtuturo, no? Kailangan creative tayo, kailangan critical thinker tayo, no? Kailangan marunong tayong mag-solve ng mga problema. Kailangan marunong tayong magdesisyon. No, bilang mga guro, importante ito. Kailangan marunong tayo magdesisyon. At kailangan bilang mga guro, hindi tayo natatapos sa pagkatuto. Ibig sabihin, araw-araw, habang nagtuturo tayo, ay sinasabi nga, inaaral natin yung topic kasabay ng ating mga estudyante. So, ito yung unang grupo. Ginugrupo natin sila batay sa ating paraan ng pag-iisip o sa way of thinking. Pangalawa, ways of working. Sa ways of working, sinasabi nga ni Aristotle, no, na ang tao raw ay isang rational animal. Sabi pa nga niya sa isang libro niya, sabi niya ang tao raw ay isang political animal, isang social animal. So, ibig sabihin, ang tao ay hindi kayang mamuhay mag-isa. Hindi niya kaya magtrabaho mag-isa. Ibig sabihin, ang isang tao ay kinakailangan niya ng collaboration, nabanggit kanina, at communication. Sa buhay ng tao, importante itong dalawang ito. Dahil wala ngang taong kayang mamuhay mag-isa, lahat tayo, kahit sa maliliit na bagay, kailangan natin ng isa't isa. Kailangan ng guro ang estudyante, kailangan ng coordinator ang guro, at kailangan din ng principal ang coordinator. Lahat ng yan, yung sistema sa isang paaralan o sa kahit anong sistema ng gobyerno, lahat ng yan ay nakikipag-collaborate sa isa't isa. So, ito yung paraan natin ng pagtatrabaho. Ibig sabihin, ito yung pangalawang grupo. Pangatlong grupo ay yung tools for working. So, ibig sabihin, hindi enough na nakikipag-communicate tayo, nakikipag-collaborate tayo. Kailangan din natin ng mga tools, lalong-lalo na sa panahon na to. Ano yung mga tools? Ito ba yung mga screwdriver o yung martilyo, yung barena, yung ginagamit sa pangkarpintero? Hindi ito yung mga tools. Ang mga tools na tinutukoy dito ay yung 21st century tools. Ano-ano ito? Information and Communications Technology. Sinasabi sa isang research, no, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ni Jones noong 2012, na mabilis ang pag-unlad ng teknolohiya. At yung sa bilis ng pag-unlad ng teknolohiya, kailangan tayo mga guro sa pagdating ng 21st century, ng ika-21 siglo, ay kailangan equip tayo sa mga tools na ito. Kailangan nakakasabay tayo sa mga technology na ito. Kasi for sure, yung mga estudyante natin ay nakakasabay sila sa ganito. At kung hindi tayo nakakasabay sa ganito, mapag-iiwanan nila tayo. At may potential na hindi tayo pakinggan. Kaya nga, kailangan alam din natin kung paano gamitin ito. Internet, computer, no, lahat. Yung social media, yung Google, lahat yan, lahat ng ito, kailangan alam natin kung paano gamitin, mga platforms. Kaya nga. Sunod ay yung information literacy. Pero hindi lang sapat na kailangan hindi lang sapat na kailangan alam natin kung paano gamitin ang mga ito, kung paano sila gumagana. Kailangan din alam natin kung sa pagkuha natin ng impormasyon sa internet, kailangan alam din natin kung paano kilatisin ito. Kasi hindi lahat ng impormasyon sa internet na nakikita natin ay totoo. Lahat ng bagay ngayon na nasa internet, pwedeng madaya, pwedeng mabago. Kaya, kailangan matuto tayong gamitin din itong information literacy. Kailangan literate din tayo. Kailangan alam din natin kung alin yung totoo sa hindi totoo. Kaya nga, para sa mga nagmamahal dyan, alamin mo kung totoong mahal ka niya talaga o hindi. Kasi kung hindi ka rin sigurado, ay hindi ka information literate. Na joke lang, piro lang. So, yun yung pangatlong grupo, yung tools for working. Ang ika-apat, ay yung pinakahuli, ay yung skills for living in the world. Siyempre, ito yung mga skills na ang 21st century kasi, hindi lang siya for intellectual capacity ng mga estudyante, or hindi lang siya basta academically speaking, no, hindi lang siya sa loob ng school, hindi lang siya nakafocus sa academics, sa galing ng estudyante. Kailangan matuto rin siyang mamuhay sa totoong mundo. Diba sinasabi sa atin madalas ng mga matatanda na iba raw yung school sa totoong buhay. Kasi sa totoong buhay daw ay mas mahirap, etc. Marami silang sinasabi, no? Kaya nga, para sa mga ganito, yung 21st century skills, meron din tayo nito. Ano-ano ito? Citizenship, life and career, at personal and social responsibility. Citizenship, nabanggit nga kanina na ang citizenship, ibig sabihin, ito ay pakikibahagi natin sa isang lugar. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo naninirahan sa isang lugar na tayo lang. Lagi tayo nakakabit sa isang society, lagi tayo nakakabit sa isang lipunan, no? At tinatawag tayong citizen. At ito yung citizen ay may kaakibat na responsibilidad. Ano ito? Personal responsibility as a citizen, na alagaan yung lipunan, at social. Na lahat ng ginagawa natin, whether we like it or not, it affects everyone. Kahit yung mga sa tingin mo, alam mo, magpo-post ka lang, lahat yun nakaka-apekto sa lahat. Kaya nga meron tayong bilang Filipino, bilang Marikenyo, or bilang parte um, ng uh, ng kilusan ng mga guro o kaya bilang parte ng samahan ng mga guro, may responsibilidad tayo na pangalagaan yung citizenship na ito. At panghuli, life and career skills. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi ko siya pinagsunod-sunod. Pero ito kasi yung ano, no, ito yung parang ito yung nag-make sense, no, na order niya. So, huli ay life and career skills. Importante rin ito kasi yung career skills, ibig sabihin mas inclined tayo na matuto sa iba't ibang uri ng trabaho. Aware tayo sa iba't ibang uri ng hanap buhay. Aware tayo sa mga ganito, no? Ito yung aware tayo sa mga basic necessities of life. At yun yung apat na ways ng paggrupo ng mga 21st century skills. So, ibig sabihin, ngayon alam na natin, may pwesto na, may konteksto na yung mga skills. Hindi lang tayo basta masabi na may skills. So, ibig sabihin, ngayon pwede na natin siyang i-organize. At para malaman din natin kung ano yung mga skills na meron tayo at ano yung mga skills na wala pa tayo. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat. Yun lang po yung pagtatapos ng aming pag-uulat sa gabing ito. Nawa ay marami kayo natutunan. Muli, kami ang ikatlong grupo. Nawa ay nasa maayos kayo lahat ng manonood nito. Muli, maraming salamat po. Paalam, sa susunod ulit.